Hi guys, Trey, the General Manager of Squeegee Squad here in Tulsa. Today we're going to be talking about professional access and what that looks like in window cleaning. So you might be asking to yourself, what's the difference between a professional access company versus somebody that just shows up with a ladder? There's a lot of factors that go into that, and it's what differentiates companies that can handle large commercial projects versus the one that can only really handle residential and storefront properties. A lot of window cleaners will show up with a step ladder, a bucket on their hip, a squeegee, and a mop, and that's about it. Sometimes you'll see a 12-foot pole maybe being incorporated into there as well for high access. And while that works great for some commercial properties, at others it's just not feasible. So whenever I'm talking about professional grade access equipment, that's what differentiates the company that can handle that 10-story building or that 60-foot breezeway versus the person that can roll up, clean 5 windows at your local storefront and go on about their day. What kind of equipment should you be looking for whenever we're talking about professional access equipment? Aerial lifts for safe access, especially in confined areas where you can't get to it any other way. That's always a really good sign. Using high water-fed poles are also another good sign. You can get efficient cleaning from the ground up to about 70 feet without having to put anybody else into harm's way, especially putting them up in the air. And then the other real big area that should differentiate one company from another is their ability to do either rope access or stage access on the side of a building. Especially whenever you get above 70 feet, that's really your only option to get to glass. And it's also going to be the safest and most efficient way. Why does using this professional equipment matter? It boils down to a couple things. First is going to be safety. I would much rather put a man on a rope system or on a boom lift or a scissor lift access glass high up because I know that they've been trained and they're qualified to use that. Whereas some companies might put them on a 40-foot extension ladder and say, go have a field day. Two very different kinds of risks, and you have to understand that that access equipment mitigates and minimizes the risk of getting up high. The other thing is that it helps with efficiency, to be honest with you. A man in a scissor or a boom lift cleaning a large chunk of high up glass, they go much quicker than somebody that's using that ladder. Same thing with the difference between a swing stage versus a rope system. A well-trained rope access team is going to clean your building much quicker than a swing stage is going to, and that's just because they've been trained and they're qualified to do that. Using equipment all comes down to the right time for the right job with the right people. If you have all this equipment but you don't know how to use it, you haven't been trained for it, you don't know how to operate it safely and effectively, it completely gets rid of the whole purpose of having it on site. So a company and a staff that is trained to use all the equipment that we've discussed today is a big differentiating factor whenever you're looking for a commercial window cleaner. We highly encourage you to go to our website and give us a call to learn more about our programs and our training, what kind of access we can do on buildings, to give you a better understanding of how we can clean the glass on your building or your property.